Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast where we're not only committed to our opinions, but also each other. Aww. I'm Kevin Lau.
I'm Ryan Davis.
I'm Zach Wright.
And I'm Jordan Smearman.
And
I feel like I never say my last name.
You have.
It's just a lot.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a big last name, but you know what? It's fine.
It's fine.
It's a power move, honestly.
You know, maybe one day it'll change. You never know.
Oh.
Ah.
Cough, cough.
Oh, okay.
So Zach, how's your home life been?
Listen, guys, I hate to say it, the budget ain't looking good.
The line is going down.
I'm in the red.
Stonks. But today we are talking about comfort books that we read that just to chill out, have a good time, and just, live life.
Who reads for comfort? Fucking nerds.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, Zach, you're fired.
I'm just kidding. You guys don't just aimlessly scroll through TikTok to relax? Because I sure do.
I mean, I also do that. But
occasionally, yes.
I also read.
Wow.
So
It's just me, huh?
It's okay,
I said I also do that.
Zach, it's okay if you're illiterate. It's fine. We understand.
Illiterate. I'm not Leah Michelle,
Oh yes.
Who's that?
the girl from Glee.
Leah Michelle.
Oh, I haven't watched Glee.
There's a whole conspiracy
Insane.
theory that she can't read. It's amazing.
You know what? I actually did see that.
Ha!
I
have
saw
no idea what
something
we're talking
about
but
that.
cool.
It was an actress who just whenever she's confronted with something to read, like she somehow works around it. It's
Yes.
very strange.
And she has not proved
Interesting.
differently that she cannot read. Like she has not taken down the rumors at all, which is I just think it's so funny.
Look, sometimes it's a learning disability. And sometimes it's just a refusal to read. We'll see what
how do you
happens.
go your whole life without reading, though?
I mean, she's been on Broadway since she was 6. I'm sure she's
Ryan,
had to memorize
have you met
things.
another human being?
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you worked customer service jobs?
Yeah,
I
Ryan, I
work at
guarantee you
Barnes &
half of
Noble.
your coworkers don't know how to read.
here's the thing. I work in news. We have to read, but I worked at Barnes & Noble, so I assumed every customer in there knew how to read.
I would hope so for Barnes and Noble. Otherwise, I don't know why else they're there.
Audiobooks, music,
get the
movies,
Legos.
the toys, the stationery. Come on, Kevin.
The Criterion Collection.
They have picture books. It's fine.
Yeah. Anyways, we're talking about comfort books. Jordan, do you want to kick us off on what are some of your favorite comfort books and why?
Sure. So if you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you all know that I love The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I will die on that hill.
Correct.
So
We
of
did
course,
a whole episode about it.
we did, and it was great. So yes, that's obviously one of them by Stephen Chbosky. Any book by David Leviathan, who has done books such as Every Day, which came out as a movie. I never saw the movie because I just didn't want the book ruined for me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There's a 3 series of that. He did The Lover's Dictionary, which actually inspired me in my creative writing class in high school. And I was the only senior that got a note from my teacher saying that she wanted me to get published because of what I did. So,
Nice.
haha.
Ooh.
So anything that he has written, I really enjoy. The Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn. The show got me on the book series, and I've read all 8 and the 4 prequels. So that was good. And some honorable mentions would be The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That's by Taylor Jenkins Reid, who is semi-problematic right now, can maybe more problematic later on, but it is such a good book, and I absolutely love it.
She's
Kevin,
been kind of She's been semi-problematic for a while.
Apparently, yes, and I did not know until you sent me the TikTok about it.
Yeah, it's like it's just every time you tell me like Taylor Jenkins Reid, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know.
She probably doesn't know what's going on.
But it's such a good book.
It's like she doesn't seem like a bad person, but it's just more like, yeah, there's a reason why I haven't read any of her books yet.
Yeah.
Kevin, I want you to read the Bridgerton books and watch the show.
You see, here's the thing. I would look through the list of like Jordan had and it added them all to my Goodreads list, except for the Bridgerton books. I'm like, this does not seem like my thing.
It's their romance novels.
Well, I'm fine with romance, but I'm just like, I look at it, I'm like, this seems so vapid. I don't want to read this.
Oh, they're so good.
You would either get all the way into it or hate it. No in between.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah,
Oh,
can see
I'm
that.
sure. I'm sure. I just like I understand like the Bridgerton lore.
But anyway, like these are my comfort ones. I like books that I find to be more relatable. Same with movies and TV shows. I always kind of go for more of the realistic fiction instead of mythology or fantasy and things like that. I enjoy those too, but I really like the realistic ones just because
Nerd.
I could see it happening. So
I'm just kidding.
yeah,
I feel like the realistic ones detracts from the nerd statement.
yeah.
Zach.
Yeah, you know what, Zach? How about you go
I-
next? What have you read
I was
recently?
gonna say, like, Jordan, I like how you like
don't know why
realistic
I'm
stuff,
here.
and then there's Zach.
I don't know why
Zach
I'm
has
here.
more-
Spotlight's on you, Zach. Go ahead. What's
The
what is
last
some
book
of your
I
comfort
read was
books?
the one Kevin bought me for Christmas for Paul Hirsch, the editor from one of the editors from off of Star Wars.
That was like
I
a couple
was-
years ago.
Yeah, it was like 2019, I think, 2020 Christmas.
yeah.
Jesus.
I
Yeah,
only ever read
2019
his
Christmas,
comic
yep.
books. Yeah. The more
Well,
like
Zach, are you
my more
sure you
comfort.
can
Well, you
read?
guys should let me talk. Jesus Christ, we're being rude today, folks. Thank you. No, I don't really read. I don't know why. I just don't have the patience or the attention span to sit down with a long book. I used to read all the time back in grade and elementary school. I used to love to read. And then I got into like high school and I just really fell off the boat because I had like no time. I'd rather play video games. Like video games are more my comfort medium, stuff like that. And I'm the only books I've been reading right now are comic books based off like Kevin's recommendations. So
I can also say that I got Zach a book for, what was it? Your birthday or Christmas?
it was Christmas, yeah.
Christmas, called Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, all about cooking and spices and flavors and whatnot. And he's gotten about 50 pages in.
I'm about 2 chapters in.
2 chapters.
Yes.
2 chapters, folks.
There's
It's August.
There's other things I'd rather do. Sorry.
Yeah, like read the books that I recommend, apparently. Sorry, Jordan.
Like the comic books to recommend.
Comic books are
Well,
more.
okay, well, Zach, what are some comic books that you really enjoy reading?
Radiant Black right now. I still have to pick up my next order of Radiant Black. I like to let them like consolidate a little bit so I don't have to go to the store just for one comic book.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Especially for this current arc, you might want to do that.
Yeah, Jesus, it's taking forever. God damn. Reading that. Last thing I read was the Groot comic you got me a while ago, Kevin. I reread it for our podcast. That was fun. What was the other one? Mr. Fantastic. No, not Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Miracle. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
like,
Mr. Miracle.
hold up.
And there's one other one that I read. I'm trying to look at Bitch Planet. Yeah, duh.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote about that.
Nice. I mean, that's
Zach,
a
have you
good
read it?
selection.
And then the other
Have you read
books, like
Invincible?
I read the first volume. I think it was
Okay.
all right. It was okay. No comment. But my comfort book is definitely The Lightning Thief, like everyone else has been saying, or everyone else will say. Spoilers, I guess. Lightning Thief, one of the first after like Harry Potter, one of the first like mythology based, like fantastical based series I've read. I love the Heroes of Olympus series too, as well as Percy Jackson Olympians. They're very near and dear to my heart. I'm excited for the series coming out on Disney Plus.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson's better than Harry Potter. Just saying it now.
Correct. Yes.
I
So
agree.
I'm sorry for snapping, Ryan. Go next.
Well, okay, yeah. Percy Jackson. Technically, the entire Percy Jackson universe sans the Apollo series because, and the series ended after Heroes of Olympus. But when I say the entire universe, I do mean King Chronicles and Magnus Chase as well, because
Damn.
I don't know. I enjoyed those. I know many people are like, it's not as good as Percy Jackson. I'm like, I enjoyed those. It was a
More power to
different take
you.
on. It was a different take on the different magic systems because I was like, at first I was like, why is this the magic system in Kane Chronicles? And I was like, actually, I like this a little bit more than Percy in some ways. The Mysterious Benedict Society series, mainly because I grew up with that, and those characters helped me deal with being an introverted nerd plebe. And then Lunar Chronicles, unironically, because it's just once upon a time in space.
Oh, did you
Kind of.
see the Lunar Chronicles released new covers recently?
I think I did, yeah.
The new covers are
They-
really good,
But I like my old covers.
but the new covers are solid. I don't care for the
I'll look-
books, but those covers are awesome.
I like that. That's where you take it. I enjoyed it. Lunar Chronicles, if you haven't read it, is just basically what if all these characters that were in fairy tales, but they weren't in space and it was sci-fi and all that. Okay, these new covers are okay.
Oh,
I like my old covers more, but these new covers are okay.
all right.
Also,
sorry, we didn't
give you a complete unbiased take.
What?
I said
You're
I'll look
looking them up
at
to
the
see.
covers and I'll give an unbiased take.
All right, we'll send them to you.
I just want to say that Bridgerton series also has cool covers that Illumicrate came out with, and they are being sold for like $800 now by resellers. So,
Oof,
Jesus Christ.
that's more than my Infinity Train DVDs right now.
oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
Kevin's
oh.
getting every single time Kevin orders something, it goes up in like by $100,000 or something.
Yeah,
Kevin
Here
is
we
the collector stock market.
it stonks.
But my honorable mentions, Mistborn Trilogy. I finished it recently, so I did like after finishing it, I had like this whole pain in my heart, like, wow, I'm done with this. What do I do with my life? Then I found the Dresden Files, which I'm currently enjoying, but I can't put them on here because I've only read 2 books.
Yeah,
The Warrior series. Oh, what were you saying,
yes.
Kevin?
Wait, hold on, did you finish the second book yet?
Yes, I did finish the second book.
Oh, nice. Okay, the
That
next
was way
one.
more violent. That was way more violent than the first one.
Oh, wait till you read the next one. The next one.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the Warrior series. Jordan probably knows this one.
yes, I do.
Harry Potter. Before I knew J.K. Rowling was crazy.
The good old days.
Yeah.
And then manga, because it's easy to read and gives me a head. Let me watch anime because anime takes forever to come out.
Yep. Cool.
So
I also agree. Manga is a great comfort read because it's just so easy to read, and you can like the page size works easily. We can like read on your phone, no problem. So, but yeah.
only it had more than 30 pages.
Well, that's when you just wait until multiple chapters come out because thankfully it's weekly instead of monthly.
There you go.
Some series.
Yeah, some.
Kevin, what about you?
So some of my favorite comfort reads are like just kind of any book by Brandon Sanderson, any book by Katrina Lino, anything by Stephen King, anything by John Green. Those authors are just kind of like they write in a way that it's just the way their prose is just really good and easy to get into, and then also their stories I find really compelling. Like obviously, like they're not all bangers, but like I still have a good time even when they're not that great. Also, just like Jordan,
you were a big what was the one Fault in Our Stars guy, weren't you?
yeah,
That's fair. I liked it.
I was on that train very early.
Well, Looking for Alaska is my favorite personally, but
Paper Towns.
Yes, I think Looking for Alaska is his best book, and it is my favorite.
Yes.
So Paper Towns is all right.
Yeah.
Totals all the way down, pretty good. Still have not read An Abundance of Catherines. So
oh, that one's pretty good.
okay,
I liked that one.
I have my unbiased take on these covers.
Okay, what are the covers of the Lunar Chronicles? Go ahead.
I understand why Ryan likes the original ones. They have a
Yeah.
nice, but they do have like a Fabio kind of like romantic book kind of feel to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like a random romance novel you'd pick up like in a Walgreens kind of vibe.
But also kind of edgy.
those are like the new discreet romance novels.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
like those.
But
Like someone's
Like a
definitely
little-
getting dick down somewhere in like a knockoff of these books.
Definitely not in those books.
Definitely not in these
Okay.
books. But I do like the animated covers Kevin sent. So I think I'll give my vote to the animated covers.
They kind of look like tarot cards. Like they could be
Yeah.
tarot cards.
Kinda, yeah.
And I like
But
that.
I do like
See,
the aesthetic of the original ones.
The original
They're
ones,
both
they have
good.
that. Like my favorite one is Cinder because you have the metal foot because she's a cyborg.
Mhm.
So you have the slipper with the metal foot inside of it, and I'm like, that's good. Like kind of just hinting at what you're about to read at.
Gonna be honest,
Mhm.
didn't realize it was a robot foot.
Yeah, it's like a cyborg Cinderella.
And it just looked like a regular foot back
Yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cyborg Cinderella. Scarlet is the daughter of granddaughter of a soldier or something. Cress is a hacker, which is Rapunzel, and Snow White has psychic powers.
Nice.
So,
Kevin, you were saying?
book-
Sorry, Kevin, continue.
No, that's totally
yeah,
fine.
continue.
Just like Jordan, Perks of Being a Wallflower is also one of my comfort reads.
Yes.
Also, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald, and then Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, and Spider-Man: The Darkest Hours by Jim Butcher. Because yes, one of my favorite books is a Spider-Man novel. Don't at me.
Crazy.
Kevin, I have
Crazy.
PTSD from The Great Gatsby. Okay,
It's a good book.
I've never read it.
it's so. I read it in high school, and it was the longest. My quizzes on those were terrible because they asked me questions. I'm like, I don't remember these people's names. They did rich, white, fancy stuff.
See, Ryan,
Yeah.
this is what happens when you go to high school in Canada. They don't do it the same way. I never had to read that.
I didn't actually. I didn't read it for high school either. I read it during
you didn't?
college. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I read it during college and I really enjoyed it. But no, it's like, well, it's just Great Gatsby is one of those books where like, once I read it, I was like, why are they teaching this to high schoolers? High schoolers would not understand this because this is about being in your mid-20s.
Correct.
Dang.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Like that would like everything would just like there's so many jokes in there that like you only understand as a mid-20-year-old that will go over a high schooler's head instantly. And like they have nothing to tether onto. It's so wild.
It's because they just have to find the most generic book that was like, oh, this won an award. Read it. in high
Also,
school.
like, public schools don't know how to teach literature. That's an opinion that I have for another
I
time.
didn't go to a public school,
schools
Kevin.
don't know how to teach, period.
Yeah.
Kevin, I went to a private school. They chose that out of everything, and I was like, we read that. We read Lord of the Flies. We read 1984, Fahrenheit 451, all the basic, like.
Ryan, how did you go to a private school and I went to a shitty Midwest public school with 100 kids and we had the same book list?
Because
we read the exact
school
same
did not-
books.
Because I told you they choose the most basic books to read.
Yeah. No, I've been looking up like other books I typically taught in middle school and high school because my sister, loves reading and has been like basically kind of catching up to where I'm at. So I need to read more to kind of like give her more recommendations. So
Yeah.
So there's a lot actually that like that I've never heard of like being taught in high school or middle school, which like Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison sounds really good. I'll be reading that next. And I'm like, no one teaches this except for like a few,
No.
but it's still on the list. Apparently Catcher in the Rye is trending again right now because people are like, oh, the main character's problematic, when in actuality it's like the Catcher in the Rye is like a really good depiction of trauma and how it affects a person.
Nice.
So yeah. Literature is strange and teaching literature is stranger. That is a conversation for another time. Because right now we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about how a book becomes a comfort book for us. See you in a bit.
Hey everybody, my name is Jordan, and you've probably heard me on an episode or two, but did you know I also have a baking channel? Bluebell Bake is by the amateur baker for the amateur baker. On the channel, I'll be posting recipes, tips and tricks, and more so we can all learn to better our baking skills. You can find my channel on YouTube at Bluebell Bake, we're currently posting monthly, or on Instagram and TikTok, both at bluebell.bake. Come join our little community where no matter what happens, we keep on baking.
Don't you wish there was a pop culture review site that appealed to cinephiles, both professional and casual? Well, look no further than crpwrites.com. New content such as movie and TV reviews, film essays, and more are released every week by writers who crave for movies like every moviegoer craves for popcorn. CRP Writes is dedicated to making sure no one is wasting time or money where they shouldn't be. After all, you have to be able to buy your popcorn and eat it too. crpwrites.com. Casual reviews with purpose since 2018.
Hey, welcome back everybody to Committed Critics as we talk about comfort books, specifically how does a book become a comfort book for you? Jordan, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but do you just want to go ahead and expand?
Yeah, sure. So like I already said, I really like the realistic fiction side of things. But for like TV shows, that we've done a couple episodes like this in the past, books that I can read over and over again. It's also books that I can read really fast. Like I read, again, the whole Bridgerton series, which is 8 books and the 4 prequels, so 12 books in total in less than 2 months. And the only reason I could have finished it further or like faster, but I had to wait for my library. I was on hold for a couple of them, so I had to wait. So, but library, free books, love that. But like when a book is easy to read for me and I can get lost in the story, again, even though it's realistic fiction for me, I can still get lost in the story. Or if I feel like reading and I want to go back to one that I've already read, then that's when I kind of know that it's a comfort book for me. Like I've read Perks of Being a Wallflower. I think that's probably the book I've read the most. Because school projects and stuff, you could choose a book of your own, and I would always choose that because it's like, yeah, like I know the story, I know how to talk about it, and that's just kind of how it becomes a comfort book for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Zach?
For me, it's kind of similar. Like I said, I haven't read books in a long time, so like anything that's tied to nostalgia or anything gives that like warm, fuzzy blanket feeling is what really would be a comfort book to me. The last book I read was Paul Hirsch's autobiography that Kevin gave me, and it's something I was interested in. So something that kind of matched my interest, like for post-production, for example. Finding more out about it makes it like more of like this is like I'm enamored by it. I really want to like spend more time with this person or with this world, et cetera, et cetera.
Post-production and Star Wars.
Exactly, 2 for 2. So like, and also like The Lightning Thief is based in nostalgia just because I grew up reading it as a kid. So again, stuff like that, all nostalgia based.
For sure. How about you, Ryan?
For me, it needs to either have like kind of Jordan said, like have characters I can relate to, or either have a compelling story or setting. Like one way I always said I knew a book was going to be good if I opened it up and there was a huge map. Then I was like, all right, this is going to be interesting. Sometimes I just need a little action adventure, maybe a little romance, and then just great character moments because I love seeing how characters interact with each other. Having a very large cast of characters or a very diverse cast of characters definitely will get me hooked on it, and it's just stuff like that gets me. But I also have to have a good ending because if you have a good beginning, good middle, and then a terrible end, then I will be very disappointed.
So what I'm hearing is that
Heroes of Olympus.
So what I'm hearing is that Mistborn was just perfect for you.
It took me a second to like, because I sat after finishing that. I was like, did I enjoy that ending? Do I not enjoy that ending? Because
I don't know the ending. Well, at least the first Mistborn book, the ending was so good to me that like I don't want to go on. I don't want these characters to suffer anymore. I want them to be happy.
Honestly, the first Mistborn book can just be a standalone book if you really wanted to. You don't need it to have the rest of the trilogy. The rest of the trilogy is nice, but that first book is just, that was perfection for me.
Hey, the last Wax and Wayne book comes out soon, so you got that to look forward to.
Oh, no.
Ryan, I think you should read the Bridgerton books.
Oh, no. God.
Jordan, everyone's been telling me to watch it, to read it. I'm like, I'm not going to.
Look, Jordan, if you really think I will enjoy it, I will check it out. But I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to do it begrudgingly.
No.
I think you guys should both watch the first episode. At least watch the first episode of the show.
Just the first episode?
I will do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to do that either.
That's rude.
I think I'd rather read the book at that point.
Yeah.
Which is better, Jordan?
Then I won't have to hear like orchestral covers of modern day songs.
Those go hard, okay? I don't want to hear any slander about classical covers of pop songs. But honestly, I think the books are better. Just seeing how this series is going, considering they're not even following the book order at this point, but I'm hoping they'll redeem themselves in the 3rd season because Benedict's story is the 3rd book, but he's not the 3rd season of the show. But his story's like he meets his love interest and then he doesn't see her for 2 years. So I'm hoping they'll like establish that in season 3. Anyways, this is a whole different conversation, but books are better.
I just want you guys to read it or to watch it. And then based for the small sliver chance you guys just can't get enough of it and you guys are addicted to it.
It's like, I have to know what happens.
I have to know. Burn for me.
Committed critics will take a field trip to the Bridgerton experience together.
Oh, God.
I want to go.
Backlog Boogaloo episode right there. Finally went to the Bridgerton experience.
You have to dress up, so just get ready.
Oh, no.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
It's formal attire. We gotta get nice and pretty, boys.
1800s formal attire.
Nah, we'll just wear modern day suits like how people go see the Minions.
I think most people did.
You just wear
Nice.
modern day suits like the Met Gala for every man there. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah,
do.
pretty much.
Anyways, Kevin.
Oh, that's right. I haven't gone yet.
No, you're not.
So for books that make me that become comfort books for me, it's because firstly it needs prose that flows. So if the words on the page have a nice flow to them that makes me easy to get into, but also like doesn't require me to like have to like reread and decipher. Not that there's anything wrong with dense prose. It's just that I don't get too into it. But secondly, when I finish the book, I have to either want to reread it or plan to reread it at some point. I feel like I just repeated myself there. But a comfort book is something that I have reread or want to reread at some point. Usually because I discover a small emotional problem in my life similar to the protagonist in the book, or the book at least offers a different perspective I've never considered before. Except for the last two books I mentioned, Hitchhiker's Guide and Spider-Man: The Darkest Hours. Those are just for fun. They're really fun books. However, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy does have a huge joke about perspective throughout the entire novel, and it's great.
The answer's 42.
Yeah, spoilers. But moving on to our final thoughts about comfort reading. Let's go backwards this time.
Okay.
So I like movies and shows just in the same way that I like books, whereas like I don't reread or rewatch all of them despite being a book collector. I don't like being in one place for too long, and I like, I always want to like find something that changes me in a way that I wouldn't expect. Usually like, because I'm not a very nostalgic person. I take comfort in knowing that there's always room to grow, that there's always room to change, so on and so forth. And then we're all going to talk about Jordan's point.
So Jordan, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Jordan.
We're not going backwards, but
Yeah.
honestly, if you are interested in getting into reading or getting back into reading, I just get a library card. Like, please, libraries are a free resource. Like, we pay taxes on. That's why they're free. That's why we have all of these resources. And you can get you can get it. Libraries are everywhere. I mean, sadly, they are kind of closing because with all the digital age and whatnot, but they do have digital books. So like there's physical copies, ebooks, movies. You can even check out CDs and things like that. I did that a couple times and then made playlists. We're not going to talk about that though.
Yeah. Your local library has probably partnered with Hoopla, HOOPLA, which is where we usually read comic books, but they also have audiobooks and ebooks on there as well, and magazines. And also Libby or Overdrive, which is ebooks and audiobooks. And also Canopy, spelled with a K, which is a streaming service, which is a bunch of like old or indie movies, sometimes some popular movies as well.
Yeah. And if you do want to buy a book, local bookstores. Support small businesses. That's the way to go.
Yep.
I second Jordan. Ryan, go ahead.
Thanks, Zach. Jeez. Well, to be honest, like I said, I've only reread the ones that I mentioned in my main, not my honorable mentions. So Percy Jackson, Mysterious Finger Society, and Lunar Chronicles. I do look for new series to try, and some have hooked me, like Dresden Files. Manga, in the end, is more faster and easier to read, but I always try to make time for a good book now and then. And I also please, to the rest of the world, stop trying to ban books from different things.
Oh God.
Please. It's like, I'm getting tired of it. And if you're gonna ban any book, I don't know. I have nothing for that. But please don't ban any.
I mean, you look at the list of
Fahrenheit 451.
It's been like that for a while. If you look at the list of banned books, it's just like, wow, you're trying to hide something, aren't you? It's
apparently
crazy.
one Texas school banned the Bible, and I was like, ooh, what
That's
y'all
a little
gonna
bit.
do?
That's a little different. But
Yeah.
I think Fahrenheit 451 is technically a banned book.
Yes, it is. And banning the Bible, let's go. Woo!
Wait, Fahrenheit 451 is a banned book when it talks about literally
Burning
not
books,
banning.
Yeah. You see the irony here?
Yeah.
Remember when
I also see the irony that they're like, oh man, we're all gonna end up in 1984. They say
1984 is also banned.
I know. I know. It's oh god, I hate it.
Mouse got banned recently. That was like, whoa, man, you really want to hide something. Oh man. So yeah, new podcast idea, breaking into literature. We start next month.
Oh no. Zach, first episode, Zach reads again.
Getting
Zach gets back to as a whole go. But thank you guys for listening to our current episode of sorry, I'm going to try that again. Sorry, Zach. Thank you for listening to this episode of Committed Critics. If you want to listen to the rest of our thoughts on other topics, tune into our full episode over on Patreon. Link to that is below in the description. Just $5 a month unlocks that brand new episode, and it's all a good time. We just kind of chill out, talk about things we've done for the past couple weeks. You can follow us on Twitter at CommittedChris, COMMITTED, on YouTube at Committed Critics, spelled the same there. It is here everywhere else. TikTok at Committed Critics, all one word. And special thanks to our current patrons: Davey Peppers from Game Mechanics, Ryan Kolakowski from Ryan Plays Drums, Andy Phillips from Andy Phillips, Jody Wright, and Devin Vonderhyde. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.